Good evening. Good evening. This week I will not accidentally delete this recording because I've sorted out my OneDrive, which was the issue. So super duper. So today will be mostly a repeat of last week, but it's good stuff. Okay, it's stuff that's important, stuff that you can use, and it's yeah, just remembering to use it. So I started off last week. There was mention in the group of a shoulder injury. And one simple thing you can do, okay, is simply talk to your body, talk to your injury, talk to your shoulder, talk to your knee, talk to your back, talk to your gut. Okay, whatever's bothering you, just ask it very gently, very simply, what do you need me to learn? What is it that I am essentially missing in my life right now? What is it that I need to hear? Okay, and with any luck, you'll get a reasonable answer. There'll be something going on in your life, and it will say, oh, I mean, it could even be if let's could even be nutritional, could be do some exercise, it could be, whatever it is. Okay, it could be anything. And if you then go out and do that thing or stay in and do that thing, um, see what kind of response your body gives you, whether your shoulder pain, your back pain, your knee pain, whatever it is. See what kind of response your body gives you by doing that. And that thought process led me on to giving you a refresher on muscle testing because that just gives us a bit more of an accurate way of doing that. And you can use it's really, really simple. It's so simple. I'm just pulling up my notes from the WhatsApp I sent you guys last week, um, just so that I cover all the same points. Okay. So yes, muscle testing, very, very easy. It doesn't have to be as complicated as what AMN has taught me and all the other stuff that I've bolted on around it. It doesn't have to be as complicated as that. Okay, not at all. Okay, to get very good results on yourself or on loved ones and family members and whoever else that you might be kind of trying to help, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Okay, the the complication is really a trick of the ego, saying you need more complication. You need to learn more. You need to learn every little detail about the body. And in actual fact, you don't need to know all of those details. Um, General details about body parts, general details about things that are going on inside, fine. You don't need to know the structure of veins and arteries. You don't need to know a huge amount about fascia. You don't need to know how fascia is uh, essentially three core intertwined. It's a bit like DNA, but it's instead of two, it's three kind of intertwining strands of collagen that's highly hydrated and da 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 da. You don't need to know all that kind of stuff. Okay. Just naming the tissue is enough. Just like, okay, yeah, fascia. Okay. Well, I know in my joints there's ligaments. I know in my joints there's tendons. I don't need to know the names of muscles. I'm just going to go, okay, yeah, it's this muscle. Okay. Or, it's this muscle, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Starting off muscle testing. You need to find a way of testing yourself, okay, especially if you're doing this on yourself, but a way of testing yourself, potentially other people, using a muscle test that you can become very, very proficient at, very, very comfortable with. Okay, so my preferred method for teaching people, at least initially, to do it on yourself is the ring and finger method. Okay, and the way you start every time is with a truth and a lie. Okay, so you have your fingers there and they're pinched together. Okay, it's not like, not really hard pinched together, but they're pinched together fairly firmly. Okay, and you say a truth. Okay, so a nice simple one. My name is Pete. Okay, strong. Then you say a lie. Okay, and just make sure your nervous system's working, that you can kind of trust this. The same kind of pressure with your finger. Okay, you don't try and kind of trick yourself and do it a little bit looser. Okay, same kind of pressure. Okay, my name is Susan. Okay, and with the same pressure with that finger, I can easily get through. Okay, so that's muscle testing. Okay, I would normally do it that way. I'm just doing it that way so you can see what's going on with my hand. Okay, so I'd normally do it one facing towards me and one that way, basically. And you could do it anyway. You could do it. I'm doing it up here because so the camera can see, but you can do it just um, down by your waist, wherever's kind of comfortable for your shoulders and for your arms. Okay, it doesn't matter where you do it. The method I use now, very similar to the ring and hook method, okay, is a little flick. So my name is Pete, okay, trying to force them through. My name is Susan, and it slips, okay. I'm doing exactly the same thing. Hopefully it looks exactly the same. My name is Pete. My name is Susan. Flicks it. It comes apart, and I'm not trying to change anything. Okay, so you could do that. We've got standing up and swaying. It's a very slow method, but you will get results. So swaying forward would be for the truth, and swaying backwards would be for the lie. Okay. Um, just a point to note, when you're muscle testing yourself for these things, let's say you've got a shoulder problem. Let's run through a quick example. So you would touch the painful area, and if you can't easily touch it, you would think about the painful. So let's say it's, lower backs are not always easy to touch, or it's some kind of point in the middle of your back, or it's on your foot and you can't really be bothered to lean down and touch it. Okay. Let's say you can't really touch it, it's not easy to. You can think, okay, yeah, my left foot. Okay. What we're actually looking for there is a weakness. Okay. Um, so what happens when we essentially think something that is negative, okay, or something about our body, in this case, how we're doing muscle testing here, the nervous system knows the answer. And what it will do is when you come across something that it's like it doesn't like, that's when the muscle test goes weak. And when you're on something that it does like, that's when the muscle test is strong. Okay, so let's say I'm on shoulder and I'm thinking, oh, I can't really lift my shoulder up, or I move it in a certain way and it hurts. Okay, if I'm on shoulder and I test it, okay, it stays strong. So my shoulder's actually fine in this case. I might also think about, okay, I might do the movement that causes pain and then retest it. No. Okay. So maybe it's somewhere else in my body. Okay. So we're going to start with shoulder. You've put your hand on your shoulder. You've given a good kind of rub around the shoulder. Maybe you've gone onto the chest a little bit, gone down the arm a little bit, testing each one. So here, no. Maybe up here, no. Maybe on my chest, no. Maybe on my back, no. And I'm doing this each time. Maybe it's in my upper arm, no. Okay. Right. So you've kind of covered all the local bases, all the places that are close to the pain, but nothing's come up. Okay, that could quite easily happen. It's very common. Okay, so what do you do next? Okay, and this is how I want you to do it. This is how I want you to try this out yourself. Go. Just start off, run through your body in a logical fashion, head to toe. Okay, head, neck, upper body. Okay. Upper body, I kind of, for me, that's kind of here down to my hips, okay, and my pelvis. Okay, so upper body, no. Okay, and I don't include arms. So I'll go right arm, right leg, left leg. Okay, and for me, I don't have a shoulder problem right now, so it's kind of nothing has come up. But that's how I would do it. Okay, you just keep it very, very simple. Let's say, for example, yes, I did have a left shoulder issue. In fact, let's do a live thing for me because last week it was last Thursday, started experiencing a little bit of back pain. Really random, no reason for it. Just I was fine Thursday morning. Thursday about 9:30, 10 o'clock ish, my back started hurting. It was quite sore for a couple of days. Now it's mostly fine. It's just a little bit achy. So I'm going to do a live one on me. I haven't, for some reason, I haven't actually done this yet, but I'm going to do this in a way that I would like you to try it on yourselves. So I'm going to reach down for the pain. Okay. It's my lower back on the right hand side. Okay. So it's not the pain. Okay. It's not the painful side. I'm going to just reach across to the left and touch that. Test. No, nothing there. Okay. I'm going to come around to the front. Test. Okay. I'm just literally touching on my body where I'd like to go. Okay. Now, it hasn't come up anywhere local. I'm just going to do the sides. Okay, so the sides around my pelvis. Okay, just around the top of the hips. Give them a little rub. Test. No. Okay, so I know that the lower back and that kind of whole circle around my lower back, it's not that. Okay, so I'm going to start at the top, head, neck, shoulders, right arm, torso, right leg, left leg, left leg, okay, left hip, left kind of hip to knee, left knee to ankle, okay, left foot, just to confirm, okay, so left knee to ankle, and then I can go front, inside edge, outside edge, okay, so outside edge of my left lower leg, and then I can break that down into smaller chunks, so go top third, middle third, bottom third, top third, middle third, okay, something there, okay, so I just come in there, middle third. Now, that may or may not be the end of it. So what I want to do is just touch on that. Okay. And then I'm kind of just thinking, is there anything else? Okay. So I'm going to again start at the top, head, neck, torso, right arm, right leg this time. Okay. Right hip to knee, right knee to ankle. Okay. So right knee to ankles come up, outside, front, inside, inside, back. Okay, just to confirm it's not there's nothing in the back as well. So inside, top third, middle third, bottom third. So right side, bottom third, touch. Okay. And then I can go again. Is kind of anything else? Yeah, there's something else. Okay, so head, neck, torso, right arm, left arm, blah, 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 hips, right leg, left leg. So back to the left leg. Okay, top half of the leg. So thigh basically, and hip, knee, lower leg, foot. Okay, this time there is foot. Okay, so it almost like it needs an order sometimes. So I'm just going to go top of the foot, sole of the foot, sole of the foot. Okay, in kind of instep, outside of the foot. No, so sole of the foot only, sole of the toes. Okay, across kind of the ball of the feet, across through the, I suppose, the plantar fascia area. Okay, kind of middle third, inside third, outside third. Again, so imagine if that's the sole of my foot and my big toes on this side, I've gone, okay, inside third, middle third, outside third. Okay, and my heel's down here and my toes are up here. Okay, so outside third, and I could again split it down. If I'm being a bit lazy and not reaching down, it'd be quicker if I touched this one. Okay, so front third, middle third, back third. Okay, so it's kind of nearer my heel. Okay, so just kind of just going down and touch that one. And I'm just going to come back to my back now. Just kind of tell my brain, tell my nervous system, hey, this is what you're looking at. This is the thing. Okay, cool. Still nothing coming up there as a problem. Okay, just whole of the lower back, pelvis, nothing. Okay, right. So I can also ask about, is it to do with an event? Is it to do with another person? Okay. Sorry, events, other people, emotions. Okay, so emotion has come up. I would use kind of just the general emotions that we use in the levels of consciousness. Okay, so let's start down at the bottom. What have we got? Shame, um, grief. They escape me right now. We've got fear, guilt, and I've missed one out. Um, and then we have anger, pride, desire. Desire. Okay, this is to do with desire for running. Desire and running. Yeah. Okay. Sports, only running. Yeah. So only running. Okay. So sports, running, desire. Okay. Maybe it's a distance. Okay. Because again, on that day, I think I'd kind of made a decision. I haven't actually finalized that decision, but I made a decision to run. I want to run a 50K. So it's like, but I haven't paid for it yet. So maybe just by paying for it, it will go away. I don't know. Kind of book myself onto that 50K. Um, so yes, I've got lower back pain, but we've got outside of there, inside down there, we've got outside of the foot, we've got an emotion, which is desire, we've got running. We could chuck We could look at chakras. Just go, okay, one, two, three, four. Again, they're numbered one through seven. So one is down by the pelvis, two going just under the belly button, belt line on a man. Three, kind of halfway between your belly button and lower part of your sternum. Four's bang center the chest. Five's kind of throat area, kind of down here. Six, pineal gland. Seven, top of the head. Okay, so one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, we can look at meridians, and we can look at muscles and different types of tissue. So each of those places that I found, okay, muscle, ligament, tendon, fascia. Okay, so fascia. Okay, so it depends on your knowledge, but you can keep it to relatively basic knowledge. You don't need to go to the depth of working out if it's fascia. You just go right here, 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 here. You don't need to look for any reasons why. You don't need to look for, oh, I mean, the event thing might have been kind of pushing it a little bit too far. Okay. But there we go. Okay. So I've uncovered a few things. Is there more? There's no more on that. So at the moment, there's still a bit of ache. I'm going to tap on my chest. Okay, so we can add tapping if you like. Okay, if it feels right to tap, tap. If it doesn't feel right to tap, you don't tap. Okay, you can even ask about tapping. So tapping, yeah, okay, so tapping is a fail. So tapping is the thing I need to look at. I can ask where to tap. Okay, tapping, usually we go for a bony spot. So center of the chest, nice bony area. Top of the head, nice bony area. Back of the pelvis or front of the pelvis, fairly bony areas. Even your shin is quite a bony area. So you could use any of those bony areas or your kneecap, maybe. Uh, Usually quite local to the painful area, but it could be any area at all. Okay. But any bony area. And that tapping creates an electric charge in your body, which helps things to change. Um, as I said, it's not 100% necessary. You might kind of feel like you need to, you might feel like you don't need to. You can ask the question and find out, or you don't ask the question, you use your intuition. And I'm just going to go back onto my notes and just find out if I've covered everything that I wrote to you. Yeah, keep it simple. Yeah, it could be something that's outside of you. I've kind of covered events, but it could be people, it could be um, something that happened yesterday. It could be something that happened a year ago. It could be something that happened decades ago that's kind of influencing how you're feeling now. You can explore that. You don't have to. Um, you can look outside of yourself. Okay, uh, so politicians might come up big on this one. There might be certain social media people, people you see on social media, people you're concerned about your kids watching. Um, what's his name? Andrew Tate might have been one, or it still might be one. Nigel Farage might be one. Keir Starmer might be one. Um, Donald Trump might be one. Hey, every time you hear that person's name mentioned, it's going to pull up some emotions and it's going to pull up some words: misogyny, idiot, fool, uh, clown, whatever. Okay. Um, Wig wearing butt muncher. I don't know, whatever it could be. Okay, and that's gonna create some emotions in your body, which might then kind of stress your system to some degree. Okay, we can also, what other words and what other things create stress in our life? Okay, so diagnoses. Um, so like endometriosis, cancer, IBS, IBD, ADHD, autism. Okay, all of these words might generate some kind of emotion in you. Um, which then go on and influence your body. So if you, let's say you rarely hear a word, okay, but for some reason on one day you hear that word and it's like a little dagger, okay, and then the next day you wake up with a pain somewhere in your body, you don't know why. It's because it perhaps, at least, it could perhaps be due to hearing a certain word the day before that you don't hear all that frequently in your life. And that's then triggered a bit of a reaction in your body and it's then caused pain and you've woken up and you go, I don't know why I'm in pain, or it was the gardening, or it was the this, it was that. Okay. Words cause emotions, and there are certain words which are highly emotionally charged for you. Okay, but they might not be highly emotionally charged for me, but they will have you will have like a certain like list of words which for you trigger events, trigger emotions, which in turn could trigger aches and pains, or it could trigger nausea, it could trigger a headache, it could trigger like an IBS flare up, or it could trigger back pain, it could trigger a knee pain, whatever it is. Okay. So yeah, and this is stuff you know we've understood and talked about here many times. Um, yeah, don't look for perfection. I think this is a key point. Really, don't look for perfection. If you use muscle testing, this is I was something I was always guilty of. I was always looking for 100%. Okay, because sometimes I would get 100%, and I was like, yes, every client must get 100%. Um, be okay with it being 5% better. Be okay with it being 1% better. Okay, if you're doing this, okay, and I hope you are, at least a little bit, be okay with it changing 1%. Be okay with it changing not at all as well. Okay. That's that's a key element of letting go. Okay. But you need to develop a bit of belief in your ability first. Okay. And by getting it to change 1%, that's a victory. Okay, that's a big victory. Okay, yeah, I changed it 1%. Well, maybe next time I can change it by 2% or 5%. And then the next time after that, I can change it by another 5% just by doing something simple. What you can also do, and as again, I don't this you can ask, okay, what would benefit me most? Okay, you just go, okay, what would be the thing that benefits me most? And then you can go through a list of things that you know that you can do for your body. It would be rest. Okay, literally like lie down, have a sleep. Okay, rest, sleep, water, tea, coffee, okay, protein, fats, a supplement of some, like vitamin C or something, um, foam rolling, massage. Okay, so for me, massage is the one that I should go get a massage, or I should ask Joe to give me, a 5 minute back massage or something, or yeah, legs. Okay, so it came up as leg massage, 5 minute leg massage. Will that happen? Probably not. Okay, and but that will help clear it up. Okay, there might be something else that's super simple. Yeah, I could ask stretching, yoga, Pilates, um, strength training. Um, Tomorrow it might be different. So tomorrow it might not be massage. Tomorrow it might be foam roll. Tomorrow it might be stretch. Tomorrow it might be something else entirely. It might be go for a walk, or go for a short run, or go for a long run. And that would be the best thing for me. Okay, so it does change on a daily basis. It probably changes on an hourly basis. But through muscle testing, you're finding out what is right now. Okay, because tomorrow it'll be different. Okay, tomorrow's a whole different day. You're a different person tomorrow. Okay, and those places that I rubbed now on my legs, they're been and gone. Okay, if I'm still experiencing some soreness tomorrow, which I may well be, I can run through this again, and it'll be my neck and my ear and my balance system, or something to do with my eyes, okay, or my jaw, or whatever. Okay, you can narrow this down as much as you like. That adds a lot of complication, which puts people off. And I don't want to put you off from doing this stuff because it is so simple. And you can make very, 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 very big changes in yourself by using this. And one of the other really massive elements of this is once you start doing it, you kind of realize, hang on a minute, what else is possible here? And that's kind of how I got to where I am. Through muscle testing, it's like, well, if I can just press someone here, 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 and here, and a pain that they've had for months, and I've done 5 minutes of work, a pain they've had for months, and they've been to see X, Y, and Z other people, and now they feel, the pain's gone, or they can move like they haven't done in months, and I've just done that, that, and that. What else is possible? And it just builds up your belief system of the things I've been taught, the things I believe are not necessarily true. And so muscle testing was really my route through to where I am and what I'm thinking and what I'm doing now. And yeah, it's you can just use general knowledge, really simple stuff. You can use touch if you don't even know the name of the stuff, it doesn't matter. Okay, do you think your bicep knows that it's called a bicep? Your bicep doesn't care that we call it a bicep. It's just a bundle of tissue here. That's it. Your bicep absolutely has no idea that it's called a bicep. Okay, we can only kind we've just got a convention in humanity that we call this part of the body and this muscle in here bicep, and we call this bit brain, and we call this bit skin, okay, and we call this bit jaw. Okay, it's just conventions. The nervous system doesn't care. Okay, so so even though I'm saying, even though we say all these things, okay, and it's like, okay, yeah, jaw, it's about our intention of the word jaw, of you and I both knowing what jaw is, that then leads the muscle test to work, which is kind of strange to think about. Okay, it doesn't matter so much when you're touching stuff, okay, like touching another person or touching on yourself, okay, because that's very obvious. I'm touching myself here, so I'm giving my brain a signal via my sensory system, via my nerves, okay, and brain signal here. Yes, okay, is there something right or wrong in this area? But it works through just thinking the word jaw. Okay, and by thinking the word jaw, you're probably just in your mind, even if you can't see it in your mind, you've got a picture of a jaw in your head. Okay, maybe it's your jaw, maybe it's somebody else's jaw, maybe it's Tom Cruise's jaw, maybe it's Brad Pitt's jaw, maybe it's somebody else's jaw. It doesn't matter. You've got a picture of jaw in your head. Maybe it's Jaws, the shark. Okay, but you've got a picture of jaw. Okay, you've got a picture of nose. You have a picture of shoulder. Okay, you might not be able to physically kind of picture it in your mind. You might not have that TV screen. Okay, I've developed the TV screen in my head because I never had it, and I practiced and practiced and practiced and visualized stuff. It's uh, it's a question of practice about visualization and being able to see things in your mind. Um, I've also got on my I'm not going to go into that much depth. It's not worth it. You can look at acupuncture points and stuff as well. I've covered that. It's way back. It's buried in the videos from the past. Hopefully they are still available because Facebook did its thing and deleted a load of stuff. It should still be there. Um, but you can use acupuncture points. You can simply go to Google and say, "Is it an acupuncture point?" And if acupuncture point comes up on your muscle test, you go, "Okay, well, Google, what acupuncture point is it?" Okay, right. And you can find out which acupuncture point it is by looking at a picture of acupuncture points and go, is it on this side of the body? Is it on that side of the body? Okay, yeah, it's on the back. Which line is it? Is it that line, that line, that line, that line, that line? Ah, yeah, it's that line. Left side of the back. Um, Okay, oh, it's there. Okay, and you go, right. For me, the acupuncture point is there. Okay, and if I looked at Rod or if I looked online, Rod's just up there on the shelf looking over the room. Um, I'd be able to find out what acupuncture point that is. Okay. I haven't memorized them because there's a lot and it doesn't matter. How's my back feeling? Let's say 10% better. And there's definitely less ache. There's definitely a little bit more movement in where I was before. So we're going to move on to treatment. We're going to slow things down. What I want you to do tonight, and I kind of already mentioned it a little bit, okay, with all the politicians, all the famous people that I mentioned, is it's gonna be a relatively quiet one. I'm not going to talk through too much on this one. It's more going to be reminders. Okay, remember to think about the situation or the person that you're thinking about. So I want you to have someone or something. Okay, it could be your bank account, it could be your job, it could be a person at your job, it could be a person at home, um, it could be a person in the world. Okay, someone you don't really know. Again, politician, Farage, Starmer, Kemi Badenoch, or whoever else. It could be anyone. It doesn't matter who. But someone who gets under your skin. Someone who gets your emotions raised. Okay, in a not the best way. Okay, you might love them dearly. Okay, could be a daughter, could be a son, could be a partner. You might could be a mother, a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, um, someone. And what we're going to aim to do is just have that person, situation in your mind. Okay, and you're just going to think about them. You're going to essentially stare them in the face. Okay, you're going to do nothing. You're not going to try and change anything. You're not going to try and punch them. You're not going to try and talk to them. And this is obviously all internally. You're just going to do nothing. You're going to come to a state of neutrality about them. Okay, a state where you don't want to punch them in the face. A state where you don't want to argue back. A state where, if they start kicking off, okay, you come to a state of this doesn't bother me. Okay, and that's what tonight is about. Okay, again, it could be about money, how much money is in your bank account, how much money you're getting paid, the promotion that you didn't get, or feeling like you're not good enough. It could be about yourself. You might have to stare at yourself in this one. Okay, um, because you might be the person who gets under your skin most, which is which is which is quite possible. It's quite possible. So yes, this will be a relatively quiet one. Okay. But I just want you to pick one thing and stick to it. We're not going to jump around between different things. We're just going to pick one thing. If you feel like you've made it to neutral before I finish, amazing. Just stay around for a little while. And if you feel like you haven't made it to neutral about this personal thing, then you'll need to do it again. It's fine. And you'll probably need to do it again anyway. Even if you feel like you've got to neutral tonight, you'll probably need to do it multiple times for the same person, event, thing that's going on in your life. Okay, it could be about your body. Okay, it could be about a word. Okay, a diagnosis. Um, could be about anything. So just relax and breathe. We just get to a relaxed state first. Now that you've done this many, many times, it doesn't take you very long, and it's very, very easy to do. Just breathe deeply. Allow your muscles to relax as deeply and quickly as you can. And because you've done it hundreds of times before, it's super easy. Breathe very deeply. Remain calm. When you find yourself relaxed, bring up the person or situation or event, whatever kind of thing it is, and just bring it into mind. See a scenario happening in front of you, something that would get to you, something that would make you scared, angry, frustrated, bothered, guilty, a feeling at loss, whatever it is. Okay. And just have a short scene playing over. And you want to watch this scene as if you are there. You're looking at it through your eyes. You're looking at this person, this event, this thing through your own vision now. And you're not like on CCTV watching you, watching the situation. It's through your own eyes. Maybe it's you doing the quote unquote wrong thing. You can see or feel yourself with the emotion rising. And just be there with it. No need to berate yourself. There's no need to feel guilty. You're just watching the scene pan out. You just see it over and over again. It's short, so no, it can't hurt you in any way. And what we're doing is we're taking the energy out of this situation. So that next time, if a similar thing were to happen again, you're able to remain calm. You're able to react in a completely different manner. You're able to not worry about it happening again. Just keep going over the same scene, the same event, same people. Allow those thoughts that you have about yourself to come forwards. And allow the thoughts that you have about any other people in this situation to come forwards. Let them come, let the thoughts continue. Remain calm and relaxed. Just keep breathing in a nice, comfortable fashion. You just begin to notice that the peace, the calmness is creeping into your scene. And you're looking at it, and things are just not as chaotic as they were. The words and phrases you say about yourself or any other people in this scenario, or your bank account, or your job, or this other person, whoever or whatever it might be, become a little bit less severe. Okay, you're allowed to let this go. You're allowed to be neutral about this. It's okay to let go of control. You're just sitting there with your thoughts, this event, this person, this thing, whatever it is for you. You're just letting the scenario play. You're letting the words come, phrases, and you can hear what you would ordinarily say. And the venom and the anger and the sadness are just wafting away. You can breathe a little easier now. You just remind yourself of your scene, your person, your event. Just keep coming back to it. Don't avoid it. Okay, there are kind of self-protection mechanisms will make us avoid these things through watching TV or scrolling our phones. Okay, these are things we don't want to think about. Okay, and by the very act of not thinking about them, not allowing them to process, that's what keeps them recurring. It's the fear of this event happening again that keeps the event happening again. It's the frustration, it's the complaining. So just have the event play over and over until it loses its energy. Have the words that you say about yourself or about this other person or that they're saying to you, just have them lose all meaning. Just take all of the power out of this scenario. Just start thinking the word peace. Doesn't have to be repeated. Just once or twice. Just kind of introduce it to the scene. You don't need to force it in there. And if you're struggling with that word, it's fine. You don't need to try and wedge it in. Just continue allowing the power of whatever event, scenario, or person you've chosen. Just allow the power to continue evaporating. Just know that the true you doesn't need to react, doesn't need to get emotionally attached to the thoughts that keep coming into your mind. Just start noticing that they're slowing down and that they're getting less frequent. And the energy about each thought is dropping. Ask yourself, how do I feel about this person, event, or situation now? If you go back to your original thought, how much power is still there? And if there's some, that's fine, you can continue, or you can come back to it. And if there's none, that's amazing. Okay. Thank you for listening and have a great night. Have a great day. Have a wonderful week. I will see you again sometime soon. Cheerio.